You are tuned in to Kids
In the Pit!
Hey guys, it's Gabe from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today I'm being joined by Alex Garcia-Rivera from Mystic Valley Studio and a bunch of bands like American Nightmare, Clean Fun, Piebald, and more. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So, first, what instrument do you play?
I play drums.
How old were you when you started playing drums?
Let's see. I was 13, but
My age.
I air drummed for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years before I finally bought a drum set.
Nice. Yeah, I play some drums. My dad, he's a professional drummer, and me and my professional hardcore drummer. Well, like he's good at it. That's what I mean by professional. Like he's actually a drummer. He plays in bands. That's okay.
Cool.
Yeah, and then me and my brother, we dabble in a little bit of drums.
Yeah. Any other instruments or just drums for you?
Yeah, so I play. I mainly play guitar and sing in a band. We just put a record out called World of
Oh,
Chaos.
good.
Play
Nice.
guitar and scream, not sing. I cannot sing for the life of me, but
Me
um, but yeah, we got like 2 drum sets. One of them is for me and my brother to play on, and then my dad has his own that he plays.
hmm
Um, they're Spawn and DW. He has the DW, and then ours is Spawn. Do you know that company, Spawn?
Yeah, I know both. Yeah.
Yeah,
Does he
Spawn.
ever let you play his drum set?
Sometimes I usually play the. I mean, the drum sets are both his, but like the DW one's nicer. So if I break something, preferably it's the Spawn kit. Um, but the yeah, it's like I don't know what I was gonna say. You play dads sometimes. Sometimes, not much though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, my kids used to play my drums a little bit, but they sort of lost interest in it.
Oh,
There's a bunch of guitars around. I mean, up on the wall even, but they'll play some guitar every once in a while, but they don't seem that interested in playing music. But they do love music.
hmm.
Maybe it'll come out when they're a teenager or something.
Maybe. How old are they?
They're really young, 6 and 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I was 10 when I started playing guitar, and like probably 11 or 12 when I started playing drums, and I barely even played drums. I've only started like fully trying to get into drums and actually getting good like this year.
yeah,
So my
cool.
brother's 11, and he just started drums this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty young though. Most people that I've talked to, I mean, that have gone on to like play in bands and have like a lifetime of playing music and stuff, they usually start in their early teens. So anything before that's just extra, you know?
Yeah. So apparently you've been in a bunch of bands through the years. What are some of them, and are you currently in any active bands?
Yeah, American Nightmare is still active. And my first band actually is back together. We're going to be playing some shows. That band's called Kingpin. And that was my first band that I did. And um, so, I mean, that was age, what, 13, 14, up until I was, I guess, 19, I think. But it's really awesome having those guys back in my life. And, it's like the friendship has just kind of picked up where it left off, really. So that's been cool. And then there's another band that I'm currently doing very part-time. It's called Blood Horse. We just put out a record on Iodine Recordings. Um, and I don't know, what else am I doing? Oh, actually, another old band of mine called Get High. We got asked to play a show in January. So we're going to be doing that as well. But we're not going to be super active. Probably might just play that one show. But I also have a solo band that I do called Chrome Over Brass, and I play all the instruments in that. That one's sort of like a drummer's band. It's like written with like drum riffs first, and then I kind of layer guitar and bass and sometimes keyboard over that.
Cool.
I suck at playing guitar and bass and keyboards, so I kept it simple with that. But I'm still able to make music with it and have some
Yeah.
fun.
My dad wants to know if you're a Rush fan because he's seen you wearing Rush shirts when you play in the past.
Yeah, definitely a Rush fan.
Yeah,
They
great.
were a pretty big influence on me when I was a teenager. Like when I first started getting into drumming, the big ones for me were like Neil Peart from Rush, and then
Rest in peace.
Stuart Copeland of the Police, Bonzo from Zeppelin. Um, what else? I don't know. Even like Lars Ulrich. Like I've come to understand he's a pretty sloppy player, but I've always loved the parts that he came up with. So like his songwriting as a drummer, I think um, I've been influenced by that quite a bit as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're. What were you saying? Sorry.
There's I mean, Jeff Nelson from Minor Threat was like, for me, he kind of set the blueprint of how to play like fast drums for hardcore and punk. Um, and then here's an interesting one. I'm going to throw that in with my influences, I guess. But Frank Beard from ZZ Top. Um, if you listen to the Fandango record that came out, I think in 1973, he starts playing like the thrash beat, like it's exactly the thrash beat, but it's in 1973. And the music, it's like they start playing like kind of like a blues song, and then he just like takes off, speeds it up, and it's literally like a modern punk song, but it's in 1970. But like no one really talks about it. A lot of people don't know about it, I think, in the punk world especially. But to me, that's like kind of like ground zero for like the thrash beat. But yeah, if you want to check that out sometime, it's on the Fandango album. I think Backdoor Medley is the song.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I'm a big thrash fan. My band is getting to open for DRI this month, and we're so excited.
That's awesome.
August 30th in Frederick, Maryland. Like that's a huge deal for us. DRI is one of our main inspirations. Getting to open for them is nuts.
That's cool. I think my first 7-inch that I bought was the DRI Violent Pacification 7-inch.
That's sick.
Yeah, it goes way back in the 80s.
Yeah, DRI is sick. Um, so what was the first punk or hardcore show you went to?
I mean, I grew up in the suburbs. The first show that I went to was one that I played. um, the band that became Kingpin with pretty much the same members, we went by the name Funny Wagon, and the style was kind of like skate thrash or something, skate punk, and yeah, I was probably 14 or something, and we played our first show, and it was just like a suburban hall show with other punk bands, and um, yeah, I think for me, like the whole like punk scene and getting into punk, it all happened so quickly and at the same time that my first show was one that I played.
Nice.
So yeah, I feel like not a lot of people have that same experience, but yeah.
Your drummer does. What? Your drummer does. Yeah, I was about to say that. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And he was
his
14.
yeah, his first quote unquote show, um, was with us, our band,
And he was 14.
He
And
was
he plays
14.
drums.
Yep, and he plays drums. We did. It was weird. So he did go to like two technically concerts before that.
Slipknot.
They were concerts, but they weren't shows. So the first one, it was a free show, like two towns south of us, and turns out Smash Mouth was playing. It was last year, so we were like, okay, might as well go see Smash Mouth because we like Shrek. So, um,
Right.
yeah. So I guess that was his first concert. It was like a festival though. Then, later the month, like it was a couple days before our first show, he played not played. He saw Slipknot. That's like one of his favorite bands, huge inspiration to him.
Mhm.
And then a couple days after, he played his first show, which was his first quote unquote show he went to.
Nice. I mean, yeah, it's one way to get into it, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, a
Also,
lot of people have like non-hardcore bands and non-punk bands that are their kind of gateway bands, you know what I mean? To like get you
yeah.
into the vibe.
I mean, he's liking some hardcore. There are a couple bands he likes.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
cool. When I got into it, like it was the late 80s, I'd probably say 88, 87, around there. And when I kind of first was getting into music, it was rock and like classic rock and stuff. And like Van Halen was huge at the time, and I was really into them. And I I got into like the first wave of punk bands, like the British stuff and like the Ramones, definitely, like late 70s stuff, which seems at the time it seemed like so far away from like when I was like getting into it, but it was only like 10 years prior to that. And it just seemed like such a like thing that happened in the distant past, like Sex Pistols and the Clash and stuff like that. But then I think about like nowadays, like 10 years ago, it's like nothing. Like music hasn't changed a whole lot since like 2015 or something. You know what I mean? Um, so looking back, I kind of see that it was sort of the tail end of like the first wave of like hardcore, um, when I was getting into it, and even like Minor Threat had just broken up, and to me they were like probably my favorite hardcore band at the time, and um, even though they had just broken up, it seemed like that was in the distant past too. And so my kind of like gateway bands were like ones that didn't exist anymore, but like they were such a huge like just like wave of change in the music scene, I think. But yeah, it blows my mind to think back that it was like so close to when I was getting into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, so I have a question here. So, with so in you're in Piebald, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay. So in the song King of the Road, they say Alex took over for Alex Van Halen. What does that mean?
Well, a lot of people have asked me. Oh, here's my daughter, Millie.
Hello.
Just doing a podcast, Millie.
It is. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, there are people that ask me like, dude, did you play in Van Halen? Like, what happened? But um, the beginning of that song, it just goes on to imagine like what might have happened to the members of Piebald when the band broke up. Because the band did actually like break up for a little bit. Um, but uh, everybody knows that I was like a huge Van Halen fan, and I kind of had such a like good spirited rock and roll attitude along with my punk rock attitude, that I don't know, a lot of people sort of think of me and Van Halen in the same breath, you know what I mean? So it was just a funny thing to say that like the thing that I went on to do was to play in Van Halen. Um, and I think Travis became a school teacher, and Aaron, they were talking about riding motorcycles. Andrew
Somebody worked
went
at
back to
Newbury
work
Comic. Oh
went
yeah.
back to work at Newbury Comics. Yeah, he's
Wait, no,
actually my neighbor. He's my neighbor, and
cool.
sometimes I see him jogging down the street, and we stop and chat. He also works at this new venue in town called Deep Cuts. I guess it's not that new anymore. It's about a year and a half that they've been open.
Cool. Um, okay. So, also tell Andy I said hi.
Okay, I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
You will know who you are.
Yeah, he will. And
him
also
why.
well, because when I was 11, I got we like you know how Dana is their merch person.
Yeah.
So not he couldn't do a certain tour, so my mom took over for him. It was like a little 4-day weekend with the movie life, and Travis let me play a guitar for the Stalker on a couple songs, a
Oh,
couple
cool.
shows. I mean, not a couple songs, a couple shows. I meant.
Right.
Yep.
That's
So
awesome.
Andy
So
knows me.
you went
from
on
that.
tour with them basically
Yeah.
for 4 days.
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, me too. Yeah, they're such good dudes. Like they're like brothers to me. It's great kind of having them still in my life.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
So you have a recording studio called Mystic Valley Studio. Where's it located, and how long have you been recording and producing?
It's in Medford, and it's actually built into the entire basement of the house. It's all soundproof down there with like a bunch of different rooms and stuff. And
What?
um, don't mind me, my daughter is doing gymnastics over there. Um, but yeah, I started recording around I'd say 2008, and I started off small and with limited gear, but always all analog. For no other reason than I just thought it was cool. It's like I could have just like used my laptop for it or something, but I bought like a 4-track recorder, like a cassette one, and then an 8-track cassette, and then this giant reel-to-reel tape machine. And now I'm on my let's see, my third multi-track tape machine. And yeah, I continue to do all analog just because I think it's cool, I guess. And you know, it became a job to me maybe like 10 years ago or so. And so I started taking things more seriously and getting better gear and investing more in equipment and stuff. And I don't know, now I've got this cool life where I produce bands and help them make recordings, and I still play music as well. And I gotta say, it's perfect for like family life because I make my own schedule. Like right now, it's the middle of the summer. My kids are not in school, and we can just kind of hang out most of the days. I still fit in some work too, but it's on my terms. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love that to be my job. I recorded the new EP that I just showed you in my room, everything except for the drums with a Focusrite Scarlett interface. Do you know those?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it's a 2-track recorder. But 2-track interface. It's yeah, I was able to do everything with the drums because I don't have one. I don't really have. I don't think is two. I don't think 2-track is enough for drums.
Well, if you had a mixer, you could use multiple microphones and kind of submix them into like a stereo image of two tracks. But you'd have to
Maybe.
get a mixer for that.
Yeah.
You could get a cheap mixer.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, at some point I want to get a one with more inputs so I can record with the drums. But we just went to like some little studio in our town that was ran by some guy in his basement.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of bands here that will record just the drums or like drums and like the basic like guitar and bass, and then they'll finish it up on their own at their home. And I don't know. That seems to be the way to do it if you're on a budget or just starting out.
Yeah. And then our friend that lives in New Jersey mixed and mastered it, and he made it sound so sick.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't really know what you're doing, like you can record and have it end up being pretty good. And as long as you have someone else mix it and master it, like
Yeah.
it's usually gonna be a better result.
Yeah.
Until you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Listen to Erased from Existence by World of Chaos if you have a chance.
I'll do it right after this podcast.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So where's your favorite place you ever toured?
Uh, hmm. Well, I will say like not that I'm bored of the United States, but like it's less exotic stuff. But I will say like I remember my first times being out in the like the Southwest and in the desert and stuff was like pretty wild. I liked that a lot. In San Francisco, like the Bay Area, it's beautiful out there. But if I had to pick one place that, just for the sake of being a little more exotic, I might say something like I don't know. Italy was kind of cool. Or like I don't know, throughout Scandinavia was pretty awesome. Um hmm, Australia is pretty wild. Like all these places I got to go, like, it's easy to think that it's just kind of regular because when you're in touring bands, like that's what you do. You just like travel and it's like your normal life. But like it's always a part of me that really appreciated like the fact that I get paid to like travel and play music for people.
Yeah.
Growing up, it seemed like such an impossible dream to have. And I don't know. It's like it just sort of happened, and I've always like tried to be appreciative of it, like while it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one place, because like you know, I might have met some cool people in one spot, but like the landscape of another spot, or like the shows were really great somewhere.
Yeah.
But it is hard to say.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, it's my goal for sure. We make enough to pay for like gas. That's about it. So we're able to do like little tours down. Like we did. I live in Delaware, so we did a little tour down to South Carolina and back. Then we did a little tour to Michigan and back. So we're able to pay for gas, just not really like flight tickets because that those are
Yeah.
pretty expensive.
Yeah, but everyone starts off that way. You just play
Yeah.
local shows, and like even the fact that you've traveled to play shows, like that's pretty advanced for being so young and such a
How
new
many
band.
states
Yeah.
so far? 11 states?
I think 11. Massachusetts, Delaware, and New Jersey, um, PA, Virginia, Maryland, South Carolina, North Carolina, Michigan, Ohio. That's 10.
Mhm.
Am I missing one? New York,
Okay.
11. And then we're doing, is it announced
And
September?
that's been only in a year.
Is September announced?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Illinois,
Mhm.
Tennessee, Illinois, and West Virginia. We're doing those. Well, West Virginia's not confirmed, but Tennessee and Illinois we're doing. And then in November we're gonna try to do like something in New England, like hopefully Connecticut, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, because we want to play as many states as we can.
Cool. Like that's awesome that you can do that. Did one of the bandmates' parents drive you around or something?
Yeah. So my mom and our guitarist's dad, he has like a big old car, so we can just like
It's like a big SUV.
yeah, it's a big SUV, so we can just
Oh,
like
cool.
we can fit. There's like 3 rows of seats, so we can fit a lot of gear in there.
That is a big SUV.
It's like almost like a minivan.
But on the tour, we took 2 vehicles. He
Oh
drove
yeah,
the gear and I
on
drove the
the
kids.
first tour we did, yeah. You
Mhm.
she had
I'd
brother
rather
do something.
I'd rather drive the gear. I
His
had
gear
the
doesn't
kids.
talk.
I had the kids and he had the gear. But I think we have it down now where we can fit in one car.
Yeah,
We did that a couple times.
That's
we
nice.
just pack really light because I have this like guitar head and it's like this big. It fits on a pedal board.
Mhm.
It just has no built-in distortion, so you just need that and a distortion pedal.
Yeah, that's pretty small.
Really nice. Yep.
Cool.
So, what is the craziest thing you've ever eaten?
Craziest thing I've ever eaten, like on purpose.
I guess sure.
Or not.
I mean,
Um,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I've eaten a lot of crazy foods. Um, Let me think. Yeah, I don't know. I've been vegan for so long, so like there's no like weird animals I've eaten or anything like that. Um,
Fair.
yeah. Oh, I guess you know what? When I was in Copenhagen for the first time, I was playing in Shelter. The guys were all like Hare Krishnas, and we would go to these like Krishna temples and like Krishna run restaurants and stuff. And one of them was this really like kind of high-end place in Copenhagen. And for dessert, there's this kind of like fudge bar kind of thing, and there's gold on top of it. And I was like, what is this? It's like a foil, like you take it off or something? They're like, no, you eat the gold. And so I ate gold in Copenhagen.
Wow.
And
There's
that
a
I guess
liquor
that's
with gold in it.
There is?
There's a liquor with like gold flakes in it, I think.
Really?
yeah.
Isn't there?
I mean,
Like
it was described to me as a gold foil, but
Hmm.
when I tell people that I ate gold, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's like a powder and stuff." So I mean, it was so long ago. I don't know if it was a powder or a foil, but I definitely ate the gold.
Was your poop gold?
I don't know. I don't think so. I lost track of it.
Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna try that so I can see if my poop is gold.
I don't think it'd be enough to make your poop gold.
I mean, you could just eat a ton of it.
It's probably expensive.
24 karat poop. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a funny tour story that is appropriate to tell me?
No, I don't.
Fine.
They're all inappropriate. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like the whole touring thing's like pretty fun. There's a lot of like crazy like van breakdowns and situations we've got in and stuff like that. And I don't know. There are some summer tours I've done where we tried to go to the beach every day or like swim somewhere every day. Those were always pretty fun. Um, let's see. Yeah, I don't. Some of these stories are like I'm like half remembering them. I don't know what's true anymore and what it's like just made up in my head.
Yeah, fair. The bassist of my band got scammed once on a tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so dumb. So we were playing this show in Virginia, and there was this pawn shop that he went to, and he saw this egg. It was like I don't know, it was like a Chinese. It had like Chinese lettering on it, and
It's
there
like a
was
glass egg. It's like
it was like yeah, it was like
this big.
it was like pottery. It was like this big. Um, and the guy told him it was worth $100, and he said, and the pawn shop owner said, "You look like my son. I'll give you a discount for it." And he sold it for 20. I think Weston bought it for like $50.
No, $20.
Mhm.
20
$20.
bucks. Okay.
$20.
And I looked it up. The thing is worth like $5.
Yeah, like worthless.
Yeah.
Actually,
He was like, guys, we're gonna make so much money. I can sell this for $100. And I was like, dude, it was
damn.
funny. It was hilarious.
That made me think of a story. It's a piebald one too. We were, I think, in the Pacific Northwest somewhere, and we stopped for gas and walking into the store to go pay, there was a envelope on the ground. I think Aaron found it and picked it up, and it was full of money. Like
Whoa.
it was just cash, and I think it was like it's almost $2,000 or something like that. Like it was a lot, you know. And
You guys take it?
you know, you like looked around, and like there's some guy that was like pumping up gas right near there, and he's like, "Hey, is this yours? We just found this envelope full of cash." And he's like, "That's a gift from God." And like we kind of looked around, and like there's no one around, and we were like, "Well, I guess we have this money now. We just split the money."
Sick.
Yeah, it was great.
Damn.
Yeah, that's I don't know, such a good wholesome story there for you.
That happens to World Chaos. We'll be able to go to Europe. Hopefully
Yeah,
we
right?
Don't count on it.
can we go to the Pacific Northwest soon?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
probably the least amount of money that I've ever found or been a part of finding.
Yeah, I think the most I've ever found was at 20. It was actually outside of the Brooklyn Monarch. I don't think it was your show though. I think it was for do you know the band Dead to Fall?
I don't know them.
They're like I don't even know what they are. They're just really heavy.
Metal.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay,
But I found a 20 on the ground and I was like, okay.
nice. I once found it's probably like $17 or something like that in a lake. I was a little kid and I was swimming under the water and just like feeling around on the bottom for stuff. And like I felt something weird. So I picked it up and it was like a bunch of like bills like rolled up together. And idiot that I was, I brought it over to the lifeguards to like, give it to like Lost and Found or whatever. And my mom saw the whole thing. She's like, yeah, you found something in the water. I could see that it was money, and you brought it over to the lifeguards. And as you were walking away, they high-fived each other and then ordered pizza.
That's
So,
kept it.
yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. So if you could tell your 13-year-old self anything at all, what would you tell him?
Anything at all? I don't know.
Maybe if you find
Invest-
money, keep it.
Yeah. If you find money, keep it. Don't give it to the lifeguards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Aside from whatever invest in Apple jokes I could think of.
Yeah.
Probably I would have told myself that your life's gonna be pretty cool and like don't worry about, you know, not having a cool life. Like there was so much in question. Like my family was like poor. I was working as a farmer from age 10. Um, started drumming and like, yeah, the dream is like, oh yeah, I would love to be a professional musician, but it's like unattainable. You don't know how. And in a way it kind of finds you. I mean, you gotta put in the work and like be good at playing music and put yourself out there. But whether your music becomes popular or not isn't up to you. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think I would have told myself to just have more confidence about it, I think. Um, but at the same time, I think anyone armed with that knowledge of like, oh yeah, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna get my dreams. Like you might not work as hard, and then you might not even get it. So yeah, I don't know. I just I'd show support for my young self, I guess, in some way.
Nice. Cool. Anything to add before we wrap it up?
Um, I don't know. Off the top of my head, not really. But
Okay.
if I can be any inspiration to anybody, it's definitely like keep pursuing your your dreams or whatever. I mean, that sounds generic, but like, you don't get the dream if you don't try for it. And a lot of times you got to sacrifice everything to get there. And it's like you never get there unless you do the sacrifice. And I think that's why I see a lot of people drop off or whatever. So, if I can be any kind of inspiration at all, it's just a good example of just sticking to doing what you love, and it just kind of works out, I think. But yeah, that's it.
Uh, Good advice. Um, well, thanks to Alex for joining me today, and thanks to all you for watching and listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Until next week, bye.
All right, good meeting you.
You too.